You go into the grocery store and you're going to buy a dozen eggs, and you're going to spend 5 minutes going over every one of those boxes to see exactly what's on the inside. So we've managed to come this far on that subject. So it can't be that much more of a leap to educate people with respect to just, getting them to think about something they hadn't thought about before.
Yes. There's no question it's a matter of education, because if we adopt these animals and we bring them into our home and they become a part of our family, somewhere along the line there has to be the connection but where did this animal come from?
Even if every single person who buys a puppy is well-intentioned and they're doing it because they want to save that puppy, if every single person has that intention, those puppies are still all getting purchased, and so nothing changes. Which it's not completely misguided. I mean, you see this animal that's being kept in a small cage, it's probably not getting the care and treatment you think it should, and so you feel that you're doing an act of kindness, an act of good to rescue this puppy from that situation. And I mean, a lot of people say, well, what happens to the puppy? Or are they going to kill it? Or what's going to happen? I mean, in most cases, as they get older, the price just gets reduced because they really want to sell it before it gets too big. So I don't think the puppy is at risk if you choose not to sell it. I think what's at risk is the business that's profiting off the backs of these animals.
What we haven't talked about is public health, because a lot of these puppies are taken from their mothers too young. The vaccinations don't work because the puppies are too young, and so you end up with transmittable diseases that no one is made aware of.
We have to protect the people who don't know enough to know that they're putting themselves at risk too.
Because the store owner will say, I get them from local breeders. Well, in some cases, with the volume of puppies that they sell, they would have to have 600 breeding dogs. And that's not small local breeders.
How many were they selling in Cambridge a month? It was like
she sells 1,200 puppies a year.
Cannot imagine that anybody could go to bed at night or look at themselves in the mirror knowing that they are profiting off an animal's terrible cruelty.
Because they'll stand in front of council or write letters to council saying, I only sell, in this case, I only sell 200 puppies a year. It's a very, very small part of my business. And then all we have to do is count the number that she sells and say, I think you missed a couple. But I don't understand how they get away with just complete lies.
But they're saying 200 animals a year is a small number of animals.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really out of whack.
As soon as an animal has anything to do with profit, there's going to be corners cut, because if you let's say you spend $200 buying a puppy that you're going to resell, every day that you have to continue feeding that puppy, you're losing money. Every time that puppy has to see a vet, you're losing money. So you want to try to sell it fast, you want to try to do as little vetting as possible, and you want to try to move that puppy. And we just don't think that that's the proper model. If you're adding a living thing to your family, it should not be an impulse decision. It should not be a money decision. It should be something you've thought out and that you found the right match. And so that's why we encourage stores to partner with adoption groups instead of selling for profit. And that's what we hope the new bylaw will do, is ban the retail sale of animals, so that yes, you can still buy puppies from breeders, from registered local breeders, and you can still adopt animals, but only from groups like the Humane Society or local rescues.
I believe what we are doing here and what we are trying to do, and hopefully that we will do in Richmond Hill in 2017, is cutting off that supply immediately with puppies and kittens and bunnies.
If someone from another municipality approaches us and they're keen, and we certainly will give them all the reference material and information and assistance that they need to go to their own municipality. And
do you actually have a resource package that you can give them?
Yes, we do.
We have a pretty comprehensive package that has been built over the last 5 years, reference material that we put together usually when we go into a new city and we meet with the councillors for the first time. We're happy to send that to anybody who's interested in doing it as well. And another great resource is the Humane Society International actually has a package as well. If you want to go into your local store that is selling pets, they have a package that you can print off, and it includes a pledge and all the information from them about what they'll do if the store will make the transition.
Every tiny step moves to a greater step, will move eventually to the entire movement where puppy mills, kitten mills, bunny mills, whatever it is that you want to call them, will end. That is what shows our humanity.